my lady bosses. My name is Janet, a proud Boricua, mother, wife, grandmother, daughter, sister, and friend. Welcome to La Jefa Unfiltered, the podcast created for women by a woman who knows your voice matters. This is a space for real conversations, unfiltered truth, and growth without apologies. A space where women are empowered, inspired, and reminded that they are seen, heard, and más que enough, exactly as they are. Here we talk confidence, purpose, self-love, balance, and the courage it takes to step fully into your power. We celebrate strength, softness, resilience, authenticity, and the beauty of becoming. No masks, no perfections, just real life, honest conversations, and empowerment. Sin filtro. So take a breath, take space, and walk boldly. Because La Jefa isn't just a title, it's who you are. Let's get unfiltered. Hola, mi jefas. Hello, my lady bosses, and welcome back to another episode of La Jefa Unfiltered. I am Janet, and I am happy to be here. Today, we're going to have a conversation that I think so many women need to hear. We're talking about rediscovering the woman you used to be, and I want to clarify something right from the beginning. When I say the woman you used to be, I'm not talking about going backwards. I'm not talking about becoming the younger version of what you used to be. I'm talking about remembering the parts of you that got lost somewhere along the way. The woman who laughed more, the woman who dreamed, the woman who had hobbies, the woman who had opinions and wasn't afraid to express them, the woman who had goals that had absolutely nothing to do with taking care of everyone else. Because sometimes life happens when we become someone's wife, someone's mother, someone's daughter, someone's caregiver, someone's employee, someone's best friend, someone everyone depends on. And somewhere in the middle of all those roles, we can look up one day and realize, I don't even know who I am anymore. And if you ever felt that way, mi jefa, my lady bosses, I want you to know something. You're not broken. You're not lost forever. And you don't have to completely reinvent yourself. Maybe you just need to start coming home to yourself again. So grab a cup of coffee, cafecito, a glass of water, or your favorite glass of wine, whatever you're drinking today, and let's talk about it. Because today's permission slip is give yourself permission to rediscover who you are. Let's start with this question. When did you stop doing the things that made you happy? Not the things that made everyone else happy, you. When did you stop? When did you stop listening to your favorite music? When did you stop going out because you actually wanted to, not because someone else invited you? When did you stop dreaming? When did you stop making plans with yourself? When did you stop buying yourself something just because you liked it? When did you stop laughing? When did you stop taking pictures? When did you stop caring about what made you feel alive? And sometimes you don't even notice it's happening. It happens slowly, one responsibility at a time, one sacrifice at a time, one I'll do it later at a time. I'll go back to school later. I'll travel later. I'll take care of myself later. I'll start exercising later. I'll pursue the dream later. I'll have fun later. And eventually later becomes years. I know I'm not the only woman who experiences this. There are women listening right now who have spent years being everything else to everyone. And maybe you're proud of that. You should be. But here's the question. Who have you been to yourself? Because that's where this conversation gets uncomfortable. We can become so good at showing up for everyone else that we forget how to show up for ourselves. And sometimes it takes a major life change to wake us up. For me, there have been moments in my life when I had to realize to really look at myself and ask, who am I now? Not who was I supposed to be, not who does everyone needs me to be, not who was I when I was younger, but who am I now? And that's a powerful question, because sometimes finding yourself again starts with being honest enough to admit, I miss me. Here's something I want you to hear clearly. The woman you used to be isn't necessarily gone. She's still part of you. She's just been buried underneath life, under responsibilities, under expectations, under disappointments, under heartbreaks, under motherhood, under work, under relationships, under taking care of everyone else. She's been quiet, but quiet doesn't mean gone. And rediscovering yourself isn't about becoming the woman you were 20 years ago, because you've grown, you've experienced things, you've learned things, you've survived things, you've become wiser. So maybe the goal isn't to go backwards. Maybe the goal is to take the best part of who you were and bring them forward into who you're becoming. Maybe the young you loved dancing. Bring dancing back. Maybe she loved reading. Pick up a book. Maybe she loved getting dressed up. Put on the outfit. Maybe she loved traveling. Start planning that trip. Maybe she wants to start a business. Maybe it's time to revisit that idea. Maybe she loves sitting outside with a cup of coffee or a glass of wine and listen to music. Do that. And please don't tell yourself it's silly. It's not silly. Those little things are clues. They're clues to the part of you that still wants attention. And sometimes rediscovering yourself doesn't require a dramatic life transformation. Sometimes it's incredibly simple. It's saying, I want to know myself again. One of the biggest things I want us to talk about is identity, because women are consistently defined by our roles. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm divorced, I'm a daughter, I'm a caregiver, I'm a boss, I'm an employee, I'm a friend. All of these things can be true, but they aren't the entirety of who you are. You are still a woman underneath all of those roles, and she deserves to be known. I want you to try something. Finish a sentence. I am. And don't use your relationship status. Don't say mom. Don't say wife. Don't say daughter. Don't say your job. Don't say what you do for another person. Just I am. I am. Who are you? What do you love? What makes you laugh? What makes you curious? What are you passionate about? What are you afraid of? What are you dreaming about? What do you want to learn? Where do you want to go? What kind of woman do you want to become? Those questions matter, because sometimes we know exactly what everyone else needs from us, but we have no idea what we need from ourselves. And that's why self-discovery is part of healing. You can't choose yourself if you don't know yourself. You can't protect your peace if you don't know what gives you peace. You can't build a life that feels good if you don't know what actually makes you feel alive. I want to take some pressure off this idea. You don't have to quit your job tomorrow. You don't have to move to another state. You don't have to book a solo trip to Bali. You don't have to completely reinvent your wardrobe. You don't have to become a different person on Monday morning. Start small, very small. Take yourself out for coffee. Go for a walk. Listen to music from a time in your life that made you happy. Write in a journal. Take yourself out to lunch. Try a new class. Call a friend you haven't spoken to in a while. Read something that inspires you. Take yourself somewhere beautiful. Sit in silence and ask yourself, what do I need right now? Not what does my family need, not what does my boss need, not what does my parents need. What do I need? And then listen to the answer, even if it's uncomfortable. Even if the answer is, I need rest, I need support, I need to say no, I need to leave something behind, I need to forgive myself, I need to try again, I need to have fun, I need to stop pretending I'm okay. Listen, because your voice matters, and that's something I want women to remember. Your voice doesn't become less important because others have needs. You matter too. Here's the beautiful part. You don't have to become who you used to be. You get to become someone even better. You get to take the woman you were, the lessons you've learned, the heartbreak you've survived, the strength you've developed, the wisdoms you've gained, and create a woman you're becoming. Maybe she has stronger boundaries. Maybe she doesn't apologize for resting. Maybe she asks for help. Maybe she doesn't chase people who don't choose her. Maybe she speaks up. She takes better care of herself. Maybe she understands that peace is more important than providing a point. Maybe she finally realized that being needed isn't the same thing as being loved. Maybe she understands that saying no doesn't make her a bad person. Maybe she knows that starting over isn't failure. Maybe she finally believes that she deserves good things too. That's the woman I want you to meet, not the old you, not someone else's version of you, the you that is still becoming. And if you're listening to this and thinking, Janet, I don't even know where to start. Start with one question. What is one thing I used to love that I've stopped doing? Write it down and then ask yourself, can I bring a little bit of that back into my life? You don't need to change everything. Just begin. Mi jefas and my lady bosses, before we close today's conversation, I want you to take a deep breath and I want you to hear this. You are not too old. You are not too far gone. You did not miss your opportunity. You are not starting from zero. You are starting from experience. Everything you've lived through has taught you something. And maybe this season of your life isn't about becoming someone new. Maybe it's about remembering who you always been. Maybe it's about finding that woman underneath all the responsibilities. Maybe it's about giving her a voice again. Maybe it's about letting her dream again. Maybe it's about letting her have fun again. Maybe it's about letting her rest. Maybe it's about letting her be imperfect. Maybe it's simply about letting her exist without constantly having to do something for someone else. So here's your permission slip for this week. Give yourself permission to rediscover who you are. Try something you used to love. Go somewhere that makes you feel peaceful. Listen to your favorite song. Write down 5 things you love about yourself. And most important, ask yourself what you want, not just what everyone else needs. Because choosing yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. And sometimes choosing yourself starts with something as simple as saying, I miss her, and I'm ready to meet her again. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this episode spoke to you, share it with another woman who might need the reminder that she isn't lost. She may simply be ready to find herself again. And as always, mi jefas and lady bosses, keep showing up, keep healing, keep growing, keep taking up space, and never forget you are allowed to become the woman you were always meant to be. I'm Janet, and this is La Jefa Unfiltered. Until next time, take care.